Welcome to the Art of Dress. Today we're going to continue looking at the families of style, and the family of style for today is the Gamine family. So thank you for coming, and thank you especially for subscribing. On our yin-yang wheel, which we've looked at before, we see all the styles, and they're organized in such a way that 3 of the styles are in the center and 10 are on the outside. And if you look at the shapes, if you follow those curvy lines from the top, at the very top we have, to the left, we have the circles, and then we have the diamonds. And the diamond line, you see that curvy line? The diamond line is the True Gamine line, or the Gamine line generally. So if you notice that instead of having 2 styles, as we did with the Romantics, now we have 3. So that becomes important to us in just a second, because what we're talking about today is what do the styles have in common by having the same family. The first thing that we know that the Gamines all have is they all share that the diamond shape, and could be used as a motif in decorating, or maybe on a scarf or a necktie, but the diamond shape. But the second thing that they have in common is fabrics. And one quality, and only one quality of fabric, is shared by the members of the family. So the fabric quality that they have in common is print, but the other fabric qualities are divided up. Now, what do you do when you have 3 styles like we do here? How do you divide up fabric qualities? There's only 5 fabric qualities. And so what do you do when you divide it amongst 3? Well, what happens is the True Gamine does not divide up the fabric qualities with the other Gamines. The True Gamine divides up fabric qualities with the True Natural. So now we can go and look at what happens with the Refined Gamine, which is the one up at the top of our circle, and follow the wavy line, the Elaborate Gamine. So as I said, the very first fabric quality is print. But each one of the Gamines wears a different kind of print. In the case of the Elaborate Gamine, Anais Mali, she can wear quite a large scale of print, as you see here. And also notice that the flowers are quite far apart, so a large separation of the flowers. But it's not that she wears only flowers. What she wears is things that are kind of like a dream. In other words, just the blossom, not the stems, not the leaves. If they're there, they might be there, but they're not connected to each other. And it's not like showing the flowers on some kind of arbor or on a rose bush or something like that. They just float around. And if she were wearing butterflies, it would do the same thing, just floating around. And the same with any other motif, like little animals. So it's what I would call a dream print. So Anais Mali, as the Elaborate Gamine, is really, the print gives her a lot of activity and to some extent vitality, and that's what the Gamine family always shows. Every Gamine shows that kind of almost like excitement. So here's our other Gamine. This is Micah Gianneli. She's a Refined Gamine, and again she is wearing a print, but notice this time that the print is smaller in scale, okay? And then it is also a different kind of print. It is a print that has leaves and stems, and she wears what I would call a reality print, a print that you could almost like as if you took a picture of a real flower and you saw it in its reality with stems and leaves and everything else. Or it could be a landscape, or could be a person's face. So she wears what I would call a reality print. So that's the quality of fabric that really represents all Gamines, is the print. So there are 4 other qualities of fabric, and they are divided up amongst these 2 members of the Gamine family, and that is what Gamines have, so to speak, in common, is not as much as you might think. And it's almost like They participate in sharing these fabric qualities, but they don't wear the same ones. So our first fabric quality is softness. So, softness, who gets softness? Elaborate Gamine is awarded softness. And as you can see here, Anais Mali, her dress is quite soft. The cowl is drooping. And in her case, softness is very important to her style. The next fabric quality is something that I call weave. So I didn't have a way to describe this, and I've never read anything about it, so I kind of had to come up with my own vocabulary. But what I'm talking about here is how does a fabric hold its shape? It doesn't matter if a fabric is soft or firm. Some fabrics hold their shape, and when they're cut, they hold the shape of the garment, and other ones just droop. She wears a balanced weave. So when she wears her firm fabrics, which is normal for her, you really aren't going to notice this because firm fabrics have that as kind of a normal quality. But sometimes she substitutes out of necessity. And when you do that, you'll see that she almost always tries to get a fabric that holds its shape because that's her fabric quality. So the next fabric quality is texture. Now, as you can see here, Anais Mali is wearing a texture that even has a bit of print in it, because print is so important for the gamines that if they could wear a print always, they would. And it really is like the character of her style. You might also notice that this kind of texture is quite buoyant and it stands off. It's not embedded in the fabric, it's like sticking out from the fabric. That's because that Elaborate Gamine is an air style, but it has nothing to do with her family of style. Her family of style is simply that she wears texture. And our last fabric quality is shine. And shine is awarded to the Refined Gamine, as you see here. And once again, notice that it's even better if the shine can have a print mixed in with it. So the Refined Gamine ended up with shine, balanced weave, and print. And the Elaborate Gamine ended up with texture, softness, and print. And that is how the families of style influence style in the art of dress, or I could say in real life. So thank you for sharing with me this understanding of families of style. And I look forward to sharing with you the next family, the Gamine. The classic family will be next. And thank you again for subscribing, and thank you for coming. Take care.